Hello guys. I just wanted to make a quick video and tutorial alongside a demo of my little cutscene service that I just made. Now, the reason I made this cutscene service was to ease up the complications when making actual VFX. Because I noticed from a lot of tutorials that I watched that the VFX is like kind of messy. Like one script would dictate the tweening, dictate the size, the position, all that of the parts included in the VFX animation. And I just want to simplify that process. So what I did was I first created a simple little cutscene. Let me show you guys this right now. Right here, you can see. And let me just play Moon Anime real quick so you guys know what it looks like. So it's pretty basic, pretty easy, pretty garbage too. And you might be thinking, well, why don't you just play as an animation and not have to go through the whole framework? Well, when you're exporting animations like this with size tweening, as you can see right here, it tweens the size. It doesn't actually export as an animation. That type of stuff doesn't export, which is pretty sad. I hope they included that so I don't have to go through all this process. But nevertheless, this framework that I made helps me get past all that. So now you're gonna be asking, well, what do I actually do? So jumping back to the test place, what you want to do is you would want to create named keyframes on the animation. Actually, I don't know why I switched. Let me switch that back. Okay. So you would want to make named keyframes of your VFX animation, which is what I did here. And if you can look over here, I just named the size of the domain, and if you're wondering how to do that, you simply click on the keyframe, the white one, the really white one, right click, and click on rename keyframe, and click save. That's what I did. Boom. And if you go back to the testing place, you would want to make a module script. I think module scripts are the only way. If there isn't, if it isn't, tell me, please. And you just want to make a table for your animation. And the key of that animation, the key of that table would be your animation ID. So in this case, it's this ID. And inside it, you would want to make named functions exactly like this. So for example, test named keyframe, and you would want it equal to function, boom. You want it to be basically like that. And then do whatever you want in here. Now this will play in the context of the client, so don't think about doing any server. You can do server side stuff with like remote events, but this is out of the scope of the tutorial. And I would recommend having an end function. You don't have to name it like these, since it's just one word, but I like to do like this to keep it clean. So yeah, with the end function, it's basically what's gonna happen at the end of your animation. So when the animation finally ends, this function plays. In this case, it destroys the VFX folder that will be placed inside the character when the animation plays. Now, to actually set it up, let's use this example code that I made. So in this example code, I would have the script wait 10 seconds just for, testing purposes. And this is just because I'm lazy and I don't want to do the player added thing. So ignore here and here. What you want to focus on is right here in the middle. So I would make a clone of the VFX folder that basically I just copy pasted it from the animation studio place into this testing place, and I put in replicated storage, so it has all this stuff right here. Oh, please, um, go like select all of these, click on properties, can collide off, anchored off, massless on. Please, it'll help you guys a lot. It'll save you guys a lot of time, and all these parts too, all these parts. Okay, so back to script. I would just clone this folder and I would parent it to the character. I will make a new animation. Don't parent it anywhere. I don't know what that does, but I just don't want to parent anywhere for clean purposes. And you would give this ID, the ID of your animation that you just exported. And for every single part inside of the VFX folder, you want to make a motor 6D, and you want to parent it to the torso. That motor 6D's part 0 will be your torso, and the part 1 will be each part of the VFX folder. And then you would want to make an animation track. And the way you do that is to load it into the humanoids animator right here. Boom. And then finally, the actual service, the cutscene service itself. You go cutscene service, play cutscene, and VFX folder clone, wait for child camera rig, get full name. Now this is pretty there's something to note. The reason why I did get full name and not like and I just didn't and instead of like just passing in the actual camera rig was because this cutscene service utilizes a remote event to send data to the client and server. And when it does that, and you want to pass an instance as a parameter, that doesn't actually go through. It's probably some serialization issue, but nevertheless, use get full name because the cutscene service, it will translate it into an actual instance using load string return, and it'll go from there. And from here, I just put in the animation ID. Actually, so you don't really need to do that. So you can just put in the animation ID of the trash animation. You can even delete that. You can just give it the animation ID as a string because it's expecting a string, right? Boom, clean up the code right here. And yeah, once you have this done, you want to make sure you have a local script inside starter character scripts. And what you want to do is you want to require the cutscene service dot new and pass these like parameters as a table. So in the table, one value would be the camera object. You would just want to make it equal to the workspace.camera, and then VFX data. This is basically the animation, the VFX data I just showed you guys right here. You just want to require that as the value given to this key. And then finally, once you're done with all that, you just put in custom service listen client and you can test it out. Yep, so we're testing right now, and after 10 seconds, it should play. Boom. And delete everything, right? And yeah, that's pretty much the cutscene service in a nutshell. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully it helps you guys out in making VFX.